Todd, good to see you. How you doing today?
How are you?
Well, thank you. First, do you have any update on Surge? How's he doing? Is he doing anything today?
Yeah, I don't have an update as of right now.
Okay. So you don't anticipate him playing tomorrow?
Say it again.
So you don't anticipate him playing tomorrow?
I don't think so. I haven't had a chance. We had a coaching meeting and we kind of ran late, so I haven't had a chance to even meet the medical staff yet. So I just came straight down to do media, but I'll talk to the guys once I get out of here.
We'll move over to Justin Rooster.
Hey, Coach, good to see you today. At the end of Game 4, even with it being a blowout, it seemed like Dallas was able to get some rim pressure from Dwight Powell. And I'm curious to how much, like in your opinion, those types of plays at the end of the games factor into the scouting and analysis going forward in a series like this where he could play a role down the line.
Yeah, I thought he came in, got a couple dunks, played around the rim a little bit. But we know how we want to play him when our guys are in the game. And, unfortunately, our young crew was out there. So we'll be able to adjust to that, if they decide to go to that. But he is a high-energy player. He's a guy who's a lob threat. He runs the floor. So he brings different things on the floor than Porzingis brings. So it's kind of like, having Zoo and Serge or Zoo and Nico, two different players. So, we'll be ready for it.
We'll move over to Law.
Ty, after Game 2, you said that Dallas has to go home and try to keep up the same shooting, and a lot of us were like, that seems like that should be reasonable, that they would keep up the shooting going to a place that they're familiar with, and then they missed all the threes that they missed Sunday night. So now they are coming back to LA. How are you feeling about where the shooting for both teams are at when the series coming back to LA?
Well, I think it's about our turn to start shooting the ball well. I mean, we shot it okay, but we haven't had one of those games where we, really shot the ball really well. So I'm coming home, like I said, our fans and crowd be ready to go. But I think it's about time for us to shoot the ball well. We haven't really shot at a high clip like we're capable of or like we have all season. So I'm waiting for one of those games from us, Law.
We'll move over to Mason.
Hey, Coach. After Game 2, we asked you what the level of concern was around the team, what the tension was like, and you said there wasn't that much. But now that you guys have come back and tied the series, does it feel like there's sort of like a pressure release where you guys are like, all right, now the series is basically reset, it's best of 3. Do you feel like the mood has shifted at all since you guys won on Sunday?
I mean, we were down 2-0. Of course, it's not a position you want to be in. But after showing our team the mistakes we were making and the points that we were giving up to a team that's so great offensively, they understood what we had to do. And coming into Game 3 and Game 4, we simplified our defense. And I thought Game 2, we understood how we wanted to attack this team. So offensively, we were in a good spot. But defensively is where we had to clean things up. And I give our guys credit. They stuck with it. They stayed poised. We got down 19 in Game 3 and just continue to keep chipping away at it. But I think we found the recipe of how we want to play this team on both ends of the floor now. So now we just have to execute.
Okay, we'll take a few more. We'll move over to Miriam.
Hey, Ty. Hope you're well. How helpful is it? Like, obviously, you and Kawhi both, and Serge for that matter, have come back from 0-2 deficits in the postseason famously. How helpful is it to actually have leaders on the team who've gone through that and know that it's possible?
It's very helpful. For guys who've been there, who've done it, who've seen it. And, the playoffs are a game of adjustments. One game, one play can change a series, and we understand that. So, getting Game 3, coming back the way we did, I think gave our team a lot more confidence going into Game 4, and which we've shown that, we play our defense the right way, cut down our mistakes, and, if they miss some shots and miss some threes, we can get out in transition and score the basketball. So, we know coming back home for Game 5, like I mentioned, I want our fans to be rowdy. I want them to be ready to go. We need their energy come tomorrow night. But we got to be ready to be in attack mode for 48 minutes on both sides of the basketball, and bring the physicality on the defensive end with our switches. Offensively, keep attacking the paint, keep attacking the basket, and sharing the basketball.
He'll move over to Andrew.
Good afternoon, Ty. I hope you're well. Obviously, you banged the table the other night asking for fans' energy. and no team in this series has won a home game yet. I'm just curious, like after a year of the bubble and limited crowds and now bigger crowds, playing at home, like have you learned anything about what really matters in terms of a home court advantage? Has anything been upended, like in terms of your expectations or previous held notions about what playing at home could do for a team?
Well, it's a little different because we haven't had it in a year. So having our first playoffs in a year, at home, it is a little different. But, the fans, you always feed off your fans, the crowd's energy, what they bring to the arena. When your team doesn't have it that day, you feed off the fans. And like I said, we're going to need our fans tomorrow night. We want to have that place rocking. I know we have half the fans that they have, but, we still want to make sure it's rocking and bringing the energy. So, yeah, home court does mean a lot. It just, both teams play well on the opposing team's floor. So we got to come out and establish home court advantage tomorrow night.
We have time for 2 more questions. We'll take Shane Young and then James Jones.
Hey, Ty, you kind of touched on it there. How did you feel after watching the tape? How did you feel about the coverages with Reggie and Kawhi and the show and recover where, Kawhi would try to deny the switch and get back to Luka? How did you feel that you guys fared there?
I felt great. I thought Reggie did a great job of showing, getting out, rerouting the basketball, and giving Kawhi and our primary defender on Luka a chance to get back in front of the basketball. And his show's been great the last 2 games, unbelievable.
And we'll close out with James Jones. Okay, we'll move on to Michael Shapiro.
Hey, Ty. In terms of going in the series from down 0-2 to 2-2, what kind of role has Rajon Rondo played in that? And kind of more generally, has he lived up to the expectations? Has he been the kind of player you would hope to get when you acquired him?
Oh, for sure. I think just his IQ, understanding the game, holding other guys accountable, but, also, having a film session every day for the players. Rondo and the players, they have a film session where they watch the game together and kind of break down different plays and holding each other accountable for what guys are supposed to be doing. So by the time they get around to us, they don't see the tape like 2 times. So, when we're talking and explaining it, guys understand, what we're trying to present and what we're saying as well. So he's been great. And that's what I'm accustomed to since I met him in 2009 when I first started coaching in Boston.
Thanks, Ty. That's all I have for you. Have a good practice.